vaccines, one of the most controversial things surrounding autism, right? It's like 6 in one, half a dozen in the other, whether you believe vaccines cause autism or don't. And, you know, as many researchers, scientists, and doctors that we've had on the show talking how vaccines don't cause autism, there still is a certain amount of a population that believes that they do. So how do we combat that? Well, with me today, and all the way from Montreal, Canada, I want you to please welcome to the show Jean LaCombe. He is an author of the Homeopathic Approach to Autism. Hi, Jean. How you doing?
Bonjour, Gina. Nice to be with you and with the people all around you.
Oh, it's so nice to have you with me. Now, what made you go ahead and write this really great book, The Homeopathic Approach to Autism?
Well, after 900 consultations, a little bit more than 900 consultations with autistic kids, in fact, with the mother, mostly in South Korea. I will explain you how it happened. Well, after all these consultations, I thought I could share my experiences with autistic kids and how they could get a better health. So that was the reason why the book was written. It all started, I will make a very short story about that. About 17 years ago, a mother called me, and not for autistic reasons. She just said, my son is 5 years old. He has a headache. Do you have something? I made a fast prescription on phone and told the mother, you just have to come back in 1 month. Phone me. She phoned me 1 week after and she said, I didn't tell you, but my son is autistic. And is it possible that he started to talk after taking the homeopathic remedies? And that was the introduction to my question about, wow, autistic kid talking with homeopathy. That mother became the student in my school for 3 years. I made few consultations with other kids, and then I wrote a paper in Homeopathy for Everyone. 2 months after writing some of my experiences on that paper, I received an email from South Korea. A mother telling me, I wrote your articles, I did try some things, and that has changed things with the behavior of my autistic kid. Can we meet you? And I said, yeah, no problem. But you know, they are like 10,000 miles away.
Right.
They were in Montreal 2 weeks after, the father, the mother, and the two kids, one Seung Bin being autistic. They spent 1 week, and they said, in South Korea, it's a pandemic of autistic kid. Something like 1 out of 30 is autistic. Can you come? And to finalize my short story, since 9 years, I went 4 times there.
Wow.
To make consultations, to make teaching, and the rest of the consultation, of course, is by Zoom most of the time. And what I understood is that there's definitively a way to make the health of these kids. So what is autistic kids? It's mainly 3 things. Problem with language, whether they can't talk or they have a lot of difficulties. Problem with behavior, in the worst case,
self-harm,
hitting themselves or biting or things like that. And number 3 is problem with sociability. The worst case are being inside of their bubbles and no communication, no eyes contact. So what I can tell you after 900 and more consultations is that on these 3 issues, there's a lot of possibility to make better. How? Well, there's probably many causes for autism, but 12 years ago, my main question was about the side effect, the possible side effect of vaccination. So what I started to do, and that homeopathy is very good for that, I just started to make detox of vaccination.
You know, detox is very real. A lot of people, we've had a lot of experts on the show, Jean, that have talked about detox, from chelation to just a cell detox, and maybe taking some things like casein and things like that out of the diet. With me today, Jean LaCombe, who's the author of the Homeopathic Approach to Autism. When we get back, we're going to share some success stories and also find out if book number 2 is right around the corner. Stay with me.
Don's Tree Service is awesome.
Love Don's Tree Service. They've come out for a giant oak tree removal, another for some debris removal.
One thing I really appreciated about Don's Tree Service, they come, they take those trees down, and they take everything away.
For a free estimate, call Don's Tree Service, 770-413-TREE, or find them online at donstree.com.
Welcome back to Life with the Spectrum. I'm your host, Gina Cavalli. With me today, the very renowned author, Jean LaCombe, of the Homeopathic Approach to Autism. Now, Jean, with over 900 consultations, flying to South Korea many times, what kinds of success stories can you share with our families that can kind of look inside the book and pick and choose what they might want to take part of?
Yeah, well, I would say that we can look for two sides. First side will be exactly with the main definition of autistic. Is there a possibility to increase the language? Definitively. I would say on that purpose, some kids who are going to special school for autistic kids, they're now going to normal school. So it means that the communication really involved. The second thing is even, I would say, more easy. It's about the behavior. A lot of anxiety, a lot of obsessions, a lot of foolish behavior. I mean, foolish when you're biting or when you're screaming all the time. That is, I would say, quite easy. Not all the time, but quite easy most of the time to lower or to make disappear.
And now new doctors came out with research just today, that said that having some sour candy can actually reduce the symptoms of anxiety.
Yeah, that's
interesting, huh?
Yeah, that's a possibility. Well, you're talking about something which is, I'm getting a lot of information from the States for the last 2 years, and definitively, I told you about vaccination detox. That's my main purpose, my main objective. But the food that you take will make a difference. We all know that having a diet with McDonald's, and I'm not against McDonald's, my child had it times to times, but if you have only McDonald's and never bio vegetables, bio fruits, and all good things, it will be more difficult. So to finish, Gina, you were asking me about the
success story.
Success. The last thing is probably the most important, is sociability. Being inside of your bubble, not having any eyes contact, being kind of disconnected from the world. Well, I would say that with good homeopathic treatment involving different things, but detox of vaccination, and I'm not telling you vaccination is bad. I'm just telling you some kids have difficulties with vaccination. And if you get that kind of detox, which the book explained quite well, you will see suddenly kids coming out of the bubble, having a more normal behavior, and being able to talk better. Finally, one more thing. In homeopathy, we're not only looking at that, we're also looking at how's your sleep. Whoops, the sleep is not good. This is part of the consultation and the choice of the remedy. How's your appetite? How's your digestion? How's your skin? We're looking at all these things to finally choose the right remedy.
And that's what it really comes down to. Now, let me ask you, I'd be remiss not to find out, is there going to be a sequel to the homeopathic approach, or is there a different thing that you might be researching right now that you want to let our listeners and viewers know about?
Well, yes. I don't want to get involved. I'm in Canada, in Montreal. You're in the States. I don't want to get involved into politics. But for sure, I'm looking at what the Secretary of Health in the United States. I'm talking about
Yes.
Mr. Kennedy.
Right.
And again, I'm not into politics.
Right, no.
Certainly not inside of American
He scared
politics.
a lot of people when he came out with the whole Tylenol
Yeah.
thing and then with the circumcision thing. But I want to find out, is there a book number 2 on the way?
Yes, there's a book number 2 because more and more we're getting from the whole world community of naturopathic doctor or homeopathic doctor, we're getting more and more into exchanging solutions. And whatever I can take to optimize, make my prescription better, I'm taking. I'm just making these new prescription, and these new prescription, I already have some feedback, will be in book number 2 about the question, is very simple for me. I just want the young kids to be in better health. And I know that it's possible, even though they are diagnostic as autistic kids. I know that even them can become more healthy. That's it. Well-being. Yeah, well-being.
Jean, where can people find your book?
On Amazon.
Amazon, which is always a click away for most people. They have the app.
Yeah. You gave the title, it's a Homeopathic Approach to Autism. And my name, I will tell you in French, Jean LaCombe. But if you play with this Jean, which is probably Jean LaCombe, you will find quite easily the book, right, in English.
Thank you again, Jean, for being on the show. I look forward to book number 2.
Thank you so much to having me, Gina. It's a privilege to be able to share the information that I'm working on. Thank you.
And coming up in book 2, Jean didn't mention this, but I have to tell you, he's going to have a whole section about what it's like to be telepathic and autistic. Some of our most nonverbal children have that telepathy ability, and it's just going to be amazing. I can't wait to read his second book, as a matter of fact. If you want to grab his first book, Homeopathic Approach to Autism, you can grab it on Amazon, and it's a great read. And I think that if you are looking for, a different way besides medication or vaccines or whatever works for your family, because it's always different for every family, make sure you look to this book. It might be able to help. I appreciate you checking in with Life with the Spectrum each and every week. Our sole goal to bring you the tools, the resources, the organizations and foundations making a difference right here and where you live. So make sure if you know somebody who is making a difference, you reach out to me. Let me know who they are so I can book them for a future episode of Life with the Spectrum. Until next time, we do live Life with the Spectrum. See ya. Bye.